It's essential that you close the loop with the BILT and let them know what you did with their feedback.
Giving feedback to the BILT can happen anytime. Ideally, of course, you're giving them updates at every meeting to keep them in the loop. But when it comes to the KSA recommendations, you really want to give them those updates at the very next meeting so they know what's going on.
When I first started and joined our advisory board, there was no feedback. I mean, we just met twice, and usually because we only met twice a year, so much time had elapsed between meetings that most of us couldn't remember what we even spoke about, and we may have to revisit it.
So it's important to go back to the BILT, to go back to the industry folks and say, this is what we did. We took these KSAs, we put them in these courses, we did this and this and this, and for them to once again be able to give their opinions about that. Either they're going to be supportive, they're going to give recommendations, something's going to shake out of that.
It's a good idea to also provide the BILT that final revised KSA list with annotations to show them how it maps to the course curriculum, so they can see the differences and the changes that you made based on what they asked for. That's also a good time to ask the BILT if any of the introductory concepts, the knowledge concepts, need a deeper dive. If you need to go deeper than just a very superficial exploration.
Because if you don't give them feedback and they don't feel like they're actually contributing something to the college and that we appreciate it and that we're using any of their advice, if they don't feel that we're doing that, then we lose them within a year.
You're not wasting their time. You're actually taking what they're saying and you're seeing it when you do that close the loop.
A lot of employers are somewhat selfish, and they want people to come into their business that know what they need them to know. If it's a certain software package or certain platform, and we just can't teach a certain software or certain platform just because one company in the area does it.
Content and building the learning outcomes courses and programs, and then showing this to the BILT members again to see, is this exactly what what the expectation was? Are we teaching for what you voted for? And that brings like a lot, big round of new conversations and discussion and explanation that helps really both sides, faculty to really get more understanding of what our BILT members expected, and the BILT members to understand.
Keep in mind that your BILT members are not educators. Do not get bogged down in curriculum speak. This means you may need to simplify and streamline how you report back to them. The main point, of course, is that they know that you are listening to them and hearing what they have to say.
This feedback also includes letting the BILT know if there's something they've asked for that isn't feasible. Ask them to problem solve with you to figure out whether the item you can't do can be skipped or whether there's another way to address it.
If it's not something that we can do, then we just have to explain what's our roadblocks, why we can't do what they're asking us to do.
And it's very important to problem solve with them. It's important to let them know items that you cannot cover. Another thing that can be a problem for covering new items is the lack of trained faculty members to cover those items. Frequently, the BILT members can find someone within their company to either provide training for your faculty or perhaps provide an adjunct faculty member to get a particular area started for you.
But if we think that we can't incorporate something into curriculum because it's kind of out of scope for how much time we have with students or something like that, we just tell them that, and they're very receptive. Here's why, in a 2-year degree program or in one course, we can't dive that deep, or that we'll add it. So that's kind of an ongoing process.
One example of problem solving items that could not be handled otherwise is a small college in central Nebraska. They actually have now run 3 different BILT teams. And in all cases, the employers wanted items that would require a great deal of equipment, which translated to a great deal of cost. And in all cases, the BILT team worked with the college to come up with a way to provide the equipment Some of it is donated. Some of it is actually loaned to the college and then updated from time to time. But overall, this little college managed to get almost $1.5 million of equipment made available to them so that they could teach the 3 programs that they wanted to teach. And all of that was afforded to them by their BILT team.
Part of any successful BILT is creating a two-way dialogue between educators and industry, a discussion of what employers need and how the program can support those needs.